Hey everyone, welcome to my first foil analysis video. This is going to be very important because this is my first video in this series, and I'm going to be looking to you, the viewer, to hear your feedback of what you thought about this video, how you'd like me to improve on it. I don't want to film any more of these, although I have a few sets planned before I hear from you. So basically here's the idea. I'm going to go block by block throughout Magic's history, and I'm going to be getting a foil from each color and if the set had, multicolor cards, I'll get a copy of those as well, and lands. And I'm going to get a foil of each from, if the block has 3 sets, I'll get one from each set. I'm going to do a foil analysis. I'm going to look through the foils. We're going to get really up close, like really close. Once it focuses, we're going to get really close here, okay, the zoom. And we're just going to take a look at the foils. As usual, the Wednesday videos are usually foil-centric. We're going to appreciate the foils. I'm just gonna give you my thoughts on the foiling process, and we're gonna go through each set, each block of Magic history. This is gonna be a long video series, hopefully. And like I said, really important to get your feedback in the comment section down below on how, if you think it's perfect, then let me know. If you want me to do something else, add more information, let me know. So I decided to start with, Urza's block, because Urza's block was actually the first block where a standard set had foils in the packs. What's funny is Urza's Legacy and Urza's Destiny. Yeah, I was looking at my notes. It's very rare, but Urza's Legacy and Urza's Destiny, which were set 2 and 3 of this block, had foils, but the first one didn't. So Urza's Saga didn't. Yeah, I looked back at my notes. Sorry. Which is interesting. There's a few examples here of early sets that we'll get to in future videos. So it's really cool that the first set didn't have any foils, but the second and third set did. So let's start looking. I find the black foils, so anyway, just from afar, one from each set, as you can see. I find the black foils from this era, forget the foils actually, just the frames. I feel like black got the best treatment, because the treatment or the design for all the other colors is just, we're going to go through them. You're going to see. Look at that foil. Looks great foiled. I love the bubbles on the black. And of course, I tried to pick artwork that was interesting and was also possible to find in foil. And also, another note here, that didn't cost like $500. There are a lot of foils from this block in particular, where you're looking at a foil like, oh yeah, okay, this is a popular card, and the foil is like $300. It's insane. I'm assuming this is some weird commander or vintage thing, whatever it is. Let's look at the other black here. If we look at actually the foiling process between the two, I'm not surprised that it looks identical. I would expect as much. You can see these aren't the most pristine foils, but really hard to get pristine foils from this era at this point. But looking good either way. I just realized they're both from Ron Spencer. That's interesting. I did not even realize that when I was ordering the cards. That artwork, by the way, is really sick. There's something about old vintage artwork from Magic, right? So there we go. That's the foil. So yeah, really interesting. So look, we're going to take a look at the blue here now. You know me, I love blue foils. So the blue frame is all right. You would think blue would have more bubble, but whatever. So we're taking a really close look here at Bouncing Beebles. This artwork, by the way, is awesome. Just take a quick look at that. Look at that artwork. I love artwork where you can stare at it a couple of times, like look back and forth, and you'll see something new each time. I love artwork like that. And here we see that. So let's just look at the foiling though. Again, I expect the foiling to be consistent here. Of course, you have the shooting star. I really like that the foil is on the frame. Let's look at the next one here. And not the artwork, because you could get to enjoy the artwork a lot more. Although I am a fan of selective foiling on art that we see in the newer era Magic cards, but we'll get there in future videos. So the foiling here, again, no surprise. Notice that it's not random. This is probably obvious to a lot of you, but the the design of the frame is not like randomized, right? It's like literally the same, which makes sense. I mean, I can't imagine the cost they want to be randomized per card. But it's just interesting to see. It's literally the same. Yeah, getting a nice close look at the foiling. Let's take a look at Sigil of Sleep. Again, artwork. Gotta love that old 90s art. Even though this was late 90s, right? Yeah. Oh no, not, yeah, late 90s, literally. Before the year 2000, but still. Looking good. Let's move on. As you can see, nothing too crazy about the frame there, though. Alright, Dark Watch Elves. So you can see, like, there is a bit of a difference between this frame and the blue frame, but not much. Again, it seems bland compared to black that got, you know, bubbles. You actually got some object in there. Anyway. Artwork. Interesting artwork. Not my top, but was really, like I said, really hard to find affordable foils. You know, and I don't mind shelling out some money, but I'm not going to shell $300, that's for sure. For a card I don't intend to play with. Again, though, foiling looking really good. Consistent here between both sets. Of course. Put that down. All creatures get +1/+1 end of turn. All creatures? What? I'm helping my opponent here? Magnify? Nah. Nah, not in Modern Magic. Look at that artwork, though. That's pretty sick. Got a Legion of Elves, I'm going to assume. They're magnifying something. Cool. So that's the foil. Hey, look at that. I guess you could see it here. There's like a, I don't know if that's a print line or however the foil sheet was cut. Pretty sure. Let's see if I can make it visible on both. So you see it on one, you don't see it on the other. So it's interesting to see. You don't see that on modern foils. At least I never noticed that. You can see the cut right there. That's cool. It's cool to see. On to the reds. So you would think something flames or whatever. There's almost nothing here. Again, with the cut. I guess this was pretty common in this era. Again, I wasn't playing Magic back in this time. So don't remember it. Really interesting to see that literally all the foils, they're obviously not coming from the same person, but they're all basically in the same condition. And this is considered near mint for this era of foils, so. Let's take a look at the next red. Obviously the cut one line won't be the same. If it even has one, it does not. Foiling though. Consistent. By the way, no real curling. You got some, it's kind of hard to see actually. You have some warping, but nothing that, I mean, this is like a 20-year-old card. Nothing that would, you know, cause issues. And that's the same for all of them. Pretty cool artwork, by the way. Okay. So let's move on to white. Foiling on white makes it almost impossible to see. I mean, again, there's nothing crazy going on with the frame. Knighthood looks cool. I like this artwork, you know, that one knight having all their soldiers put their swords up. Pretty epic. Very much like the type of art you got from this era of Magic. There you got that little print line thing again. Seems very common. But again, it's really nice to be able to see. What's cool is that even though there's no foil on the artwork itself, let's get a focus here. I could swear I could almost see the line going across the art. You see that? Yeah, you see that, right? That's interesting. I wonder what that effect is. I'm gonna have to look into that to be a bit more informed, or maybe some of you can let me know in the comment section down below, since we're doing a foil analysis here. Let's take a look at the other white card. Has its own cut line there just above. Interesting to see. Voice of Duty. Got your little angel with the peasants running under her. Assuming those are peasants. Cool foil. Get up close here. And again, nothing crazy with curling, as expected. I wish our modern foils were like that. Alright, next we got an artifact. So the artifacts as well, I mean, we all know, very familiar with the artifacts, but again, nothing crazy about the frame. Urza's blueprints. I wonder what Urza's building. What does that look like? I'm sure you lore freaks will know. Even I kind of know. But, you know, it's a test. Let's see if you know, right? Right, yeah. So the brown almost gets drowned out, by the way, by the foiling, unsurprisingly. It's a dark color, and there's really nothing identifiable about it, so not surprising there. Let's take a look at the other foil here. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Brown gets drowned out. That artwork, though, just beautiful. Beautiful artwork. Love it. They really put their name in there. You will not forget who the artist is. And you got the foiling. Even the set symbol gets kind of drowned out there. But it's looking good. It's looking good for a foil, 20-year-old foil. Last, the one land I can get or find. Spawning pool. Interestingly, a lot of lack of color here for a spawning pool. You'd think there'd be a bit more color in something that was supposed to be spawning something, but maybe that's not the point of this card. Interestingly, on the lands, you could see a lot more of the frame, not really getting as drowned out compared to the artifacts. Let's get a good focus there. Rob Alexander. We all know that name. You know that name very well when it comes to land art. I didn't know it went back this far. Very cool. So, that was my foil analysis. I mean, it's really interesting to see the foiling of, well, again, these were the first foils ever to be put into a standard set that weren't in some premium product or promotion or something. So it's really cool to see. I think the blue, at the end of the day, I'm very biased, but the blue looks the best. Although, again, when it comes to framing, and this has nothing to do with the foiling, but it does make a difference when you're looking at it. I just don't know why the other cards didn't get this type of treatment in the frames. The other colors, I should say. But I think of the framing, blue and black look the best. The foiling also looks the best in these two. And yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about this foil analysis. What more I can add to this video series. I have a lot of other cards already ordered and ready to shoot. But before I do, I want to make sure I fine-tune this video series and make sure it's as interesting to you as possible. I figured, you know, something really close you could really look up, you know, up close and personal and high definition would be interesting. I know a lot of people like the mail day videos for that reason, so this is a bit more of that, but kind of going back in history. Going back to different sets, different eras, different blocks, and looking at the different foiling process. You know, as I add more videos to this series, we'll be able to see potentially of how these foils evolved over time, the good, the bad. So yeah, really, really, really curious to hear from you what you thought about this video. And yeah, more to come. Thanks. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content in general, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. It really goes a long way. It helps me out a lot. If you want to become a member here on YouTube, hit that join button, which should be in and around that subscribe button. Check out the different membership tiers and the different perks you get at each tier. You know, I'd love to have you as part of my YouTube community officially as a member. And I think the membership tiers are pretty interesting. Have some cool little features in there. So check it out. I would really appreciate your support. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, share my content on social media, watch my content start to finish like you're doing right now. It really does go a long way, so thank you for that. Lastly, if you want to become a patron, check out the Patreon link in the description of this video. Check out the Patreon Rewards program. In a nutshell, you give me money every month, I use that money to buy sealed product, which I open up on this channel, and then I give you back that money in the form of rares and mythics at the end of every year. The longer you're a patron, the more rares and mythics you get. Basically 1 rare mythic for every month that you're a patron. And the value of those rares are anything really between $3 and $15. Some of them go even higher, as you know. So even if you average out about $5 per rare, that's $5 a month, you get your money back, but odds are you'll make more. Anyway, all that information is on Patreon. There's a video on there that explains it all. We really appreciate your support either way. Thanks, and have a good one.